Oh, for real? Where am I supposed to be at now? Oh, it smells like old trash or something over here. No.
Your breath.
I was about to say something. Highly upset, young lady. We all know that. What up? What up, everyone?
Hey everyone, sorry we're late. We were having technical difficulty. Well,
Yeah.
StreamYard seemed to be having
Difficulties. I guess everybody's streaming right now, so they wouldn't let us on. I appreciate you guys joining us.
And sticking around if you did stick around.
Sorry for the delay.
I'm Angela.
I'm Ron.
And we are
Chatter of Opinions. So we're going to hit them today with what?
Okay, so it's kind of like a two-parter.
Okay.
All right, so what is more important? Is it how you perceive yourself?
All right.
Or how others perceive you?
Okay.
And could there be some truth to those perceptions of others?
Okay, I got you. If you want to chime in, you can actually join us on here. If you want to be heard and not seen, the phone number is 505-575-2484. That is presented right there on the screen. So once again, what's more important, your perception of yourself or others' perception of you? And when people say some crazy things about you, is some of that they say actually true? Is there some truth behind what they say?
So the background of why I brought this topic up was at my job, we're really big. If you guys don't know about it, it's like you take this test. It's called the 5 Voices.
Right.
And we've been incorporating it at my company for maybe 2-3 years now. Mm-hmm. And it is a game changer, let me tell you. So there's 5 voices, and you kind of have certain characteristics of these 5 voices, and they're in order. So it's not that you're just one voice. You could be all of the voices, but you have like a hierarchy. Like I tend to gravitate towards this, and I never or very little associate with the one that's at the bottom.
I've never heard of that before.
It's actually pretty interesting.
Okay.
Crystal real quick says, yes, it's hard because most people are their own worst critics. And what we see in ourselves, most people don't see that in that person typically.
Okay, I can understand that, Crystal. But is it that when it comes down to it, you see yourself a certain way, and then somebody else says something about you
different?
Yeah, different. Do you take what they say into consideration, or are you just like, forget about it? I am who I am. This is me. I don't really care what anybody else thinks.
So I feel like with Crystal, she's thinking negative thoughts, and someone's thinking more positive, because she said we're our worst critics.
Okay.
I in my mind, we're thinking, I think of myself a certain way, but the perception of others could be negative. So there's a twofold. So you're correct, Crystal.
Right, or vice versa. You could be thinking positive about.
That's what I just said. What my perception or my thought process was, I think of myself like highly as far as I'm this, I'm that, not thinking of it in the negative way, but someone who interacts with me might think of it in a negative way. So back to my story about the 5 voices is, if you know the 5 voices, there's pioneer, there's nurturer, guardian, connector, and creative. And so I'm a pioneer. I'm very like goal oriented. I don't care about your feelings. There's no crying in baseball. Let's get this done type person, right?
And I don't see you like that.
Ironically.
But go ahead.
Yeah, at work, I'm totally like alpha. And at home, I'm not. So yes, he always says that he doesn't see me like that. But so I'm a pioneer, and the pioneers are looked at kind of like we're kind of the a-holes, right? Because we don't care about your feelings, all of this. So anyways, I took this course. Ever since then, now, the good thing I did find out along with my peers is not one of them has said negative, but they said I am what they call a mature pioneer, because there's immature pioneer. So I'm able to still be friendly or come off as friendly, but I've had to work on it too. Because I used to come in and go straight to work. I'm always at my desk. Don't bother me. I'm busy type thing. And now it's not natural for me to do, because a connector is my least one that I gravitate towards. And so now I'll like go in and kind of, hey, how was your weekend? How was your evening type thing. And when I interact with people, especially people who are opposite of what I am, which is like connectors, it just teaches you that, yes, I am who I am, but there's just a certain way to interact with others.
Okay, but do you care about what people think about you?
Well, yeah, when you're in leadership, when you're in a management position, in order to lead those people, you can't always just lead with like a iron fist, because that's not gonna.
Yeah, but leading and what people.
But it's
think
about your
you,
interactions. So let me finish my quick story. So I and her and I have both acknowledged this. Her and I, when we first started working together, we just kept like missing each other. We could not understand each other. We just couldn't interact. We were on total opposites of the spectrum. And after we both took this course, we just now understood what each of us were. She was a creative, I was a pioneer. By knowing this, you were just able to learn how to interact. So it doesn't mean that I necessarily changed. I just kind of switched it up based on who I was interacting and vice versa. So her perception of me, she said, I would have died before I had to come ask you for help. Whereas now I was telling her like, well, I felt like I had more confidence in you than you had of yourself, blah, blah, blah. And then after she understood that my intentions weren't bad, it was me just trying to push her to do better, because I believed that she could do better. But she was kind of like timid and like afraid. And so after we like figured out what the issue was, now it's like peaches and cream. We understand each other. We know how to interact with each other, how to approach each other when there's issues, not necessarily issues, but anything, like how to approach it. And it makes a difference. So I don't necessarily think you should focus on others' perceptions, but I think you should take it into consideration, is my take. Yeah. So Crystal says, but we should not care what others say or think of us. And I get it. In general, I agree to a point. You don't agree?
Well, you shouldn't care what people think about you, but you do care. Mm-hmm. I think when people say, and myself included, I don't care what they say or what they think. And in all honesty, I don't care what people say or think about me. However, I listen to what they say. Mm-hmm. And how they feel. And I'm like, all right, I can see that. Or no, that's totally not me. Because a lot of times when people talk and they talk about you, what makes a difference in that whole scenario is their relationship to you. If this is a stranger, somebody that just comes out of the street and they don't know you, and they're just talking, I don't understand why people get butthurt over that.
Like on
social media. Like if I post something on social media and somebody says something negative about me,
he just dismisses it.
Yeah, I could care less what they say. He's because like, I don't even know. There's 90%.
Few times Ron has come to me. I know one time Ron came to me because he was bothered by something this lady like said, and it was more that she just kept on. Like I think that he was kind of dismissive of her because she made a comment that really had nothing to do with nothing.
Right.
But she kind of kept on.
Oh yeah,
and that's when it was
about
irking
the subject.
you.
I'm just like, are you kidding
like,
me
okay,
right now? Like,
you said your piece.
right.
Type
Let's
thing.
move on
Let's
about
move
it.
on.
So it didn't bother me that she said whatever she said that was negative. It's that she just kept on and kept on.
Chiming in.
Yeah, trying to like bait me into saying something.
That's what it was. Because I feel like she's trying to get me to say something. So
and I'm not going to say anything negative. If you respond to me on social media, whether it be positive or negatively, I'm going to acknowledge, thank you for responding. Period. Right. You have your own opinion. I could care less what you think about me.
Yeah.
Now, what really gets me, though, is if somebody close has said something about me, because those people know me. Yeah, know me a lot more than, or a lot better than anybody else, like just on social media. So I listen to what everyone says, but then what I take to heart is the one that's close, the ones that's closer to me. Yeah.
So I came up with a few points to each one. So if you were to consider your self-perception, you're the one who knows yourself.
Right.
Right? But do you?
I know me.
You know you?
Yeah, I know myself.
Can I give an example though?
Of me?
Of how, yes, kind of.
Okay.
It's so when we first, I'll give you, I'll start with me first. So whenever me and Ron first got together, he was always like giving me a hard time.
Oh.
And I was just like, why are you so mean? I don't understand why you give me a hard time. Like, is that fun for you? Like, I didn't understand it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And he just kept saying, you're just so sensitive. You're so sensitive. Well, I grew up with just my mother and my sister, and we didn't like harp on each other or joke around with each other just to be mean. Right? Whereas like Ron's family or certain families, they literally dig at each other for the fun of it.
Dog eat dog. If you ain't quick with it, then they will run you over.
Yeah, right.
From the immediate family to the grandkids, the
nieces and nephews.
Yeah, if you ain't quick in my family, son,
that's what I'm saying is like perception. That doesn't mean you were mean, but my perception of you was like, why are you being so mean to me and like on me?
So then you thought I was a rude alcoholic.
I did think he was alcoholic when we first got together. I was like, this ain't gonna work.
What? I didn't even drink like that. You know what I mean? So I don't even know why that even came up. But
yes, but do you see what I'm saying? So like it just could just be circumstance. Like I thought, I thought you were an alcoholic and I thought you were mean. But that wasn't the case.
No. Right? Just because I had some alcohol at the house don't mean that I was drinking.
You say that you don't care, but I feel like you adjusted.
To you?
Yeah, you adjusted a bit, and then I got calloused on it and realized who you were.
Because here's the deal: when it came to you, and let's say we're talking about perception wise or anything to do with you, I would make jabs just to prepare you for the whole family thing, right? Because I know,
and I'm glad you did.
Yeah, if you went to the house and they was on you, I don't want you to be in the room crying and this, that, and the other. And the things that I would say were not degrading to you.
No,
I wasn't trying to degrade you or break you down or anything of that nature.
It was not like he was being like abusive or verbal abuse. It was like how like boys, how they just like play with each other and yo mama jokes and like that type of thing. And I'm like, why are you always playing around with me type thing?
Yeah, because that's just the way my family was. You know what I mean? So I just try to prepare you.
Correct. But I'm just saying perception may not necessarily be right, but there's a perception for a reason, so it may be true, and if that makes sense.
No, and the things that I would say was on a joking manner. It was not true.
But again, to me, it was just like, why are you being mean for no reason? Like, why are you giving me a hard time? I didn't understand it.
I wasn't.
Now, there's times where I have like a good comeback, and when I fast. When I'm quick with it, I'm like,
I give you flowers. I'll say, hey, you was quick with that one. You was quick
was a good one.
And the reason why you say I either pull back or change is because everything that I would say, you would take it personally. And it wasn't personal, you know what I mean? So then I had to step back to say, okay, she's not the joking type person.
Well,
you can't
correct.
take a
well,
joke.
Eventually, at least once I understood it, but you went in hard at first.
Because you got, throw them in wet, throw them in the deep end, see if you can swim. Because if you go to my family's house, you go to the triple household, it's on. You know what I mean? You gotta fight for your right to party, as they say. So
yeah.
Yes.
So that's why I'm just saying, like, you do adjust. It doesn't necessarily mean you do or don't care, but sometimes you are required to adjust, or you want to adjust.
Well, you can adjust, depends on what the situation is and who you're talking
and who
to.
It is, right?
Yeah, because it's a thin line between I'm just joking with you and then what you said, it was I'm a bully.
Correct.
Yeah, there's a thin, especially in today's age.
Initially, I thought you were a bully, and then when I figured out, and you communicated, I'm sorry, I was just joking with you. Me and my family play around, blah blah blah. Then I understood the intent behind it, and then I just eventually I eventually like now I don't care.
But when it comes to, you said you know yourself, but do you? I know who I am. You know, and that's what I was going to
say though. So on the one when I changed it and said, okay, I'll talk about me first, was so when I got with Ron too at the beginning, I would always tell him, babe, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Right. And so like Hennessy also was like, yeah, dad, blah, blah, blah. And so he didn't see himself like that. But our perception of him was that you're hard to communicate with because yada, yada, yada. Why
okay, I guess we're making it about me, but it was not about that. What it is
give an example.
When you're joking with someone, in the manner that I was joking, it was straightforward on the joke. There was no sugarcoating.
It was more, I'm saying like the facial expressions where you're like, I'm not making facial expressions. You know, like the whole resting bee face.
Okay.
Like, I know Crystal got that a lot when we were young. All my friends thought she was a mean.
Could be.
That's people's perception of her. It doesn't mean she was mean.
But
right?
On
but
there,
she didn't
you said,
realize.
Do you know yourself?
Right.
I know myself. I know if somebody says something to me and I am in disagreement with what they say, my face speaks volumes. I also know when I'm not thinking nothing.
Acknowledged your face.
I also know when I'm thinking absolutely nothing and you say something, you say, look at your face. And then you say what my face says, you're totally wrong. You're wrong about what you think about me and what I'm thinking. You're wrong. A lot of times you say, well, you don't want to do this and
or
blah,
you
blah,
have
blah.
Stubborn people who don't.
No, yes. I know me. I know who I am.
If I'm wrong in your ways.
Nah, I'm not stubborn in my ways. I just am who I am.
Period. All right. Meg Samora says, of course, people adjust and change to certain people. It's only normal to do that. Although my husband and I are ball busters to each other. We both are.
Yeah, but they don't take it personal. They know they're busting each other's balls. That's just how it is. But you took it personal when I was saying it.
I admit I was sensitive at
but every time I would tell you it's not personal. It is. This is just
what now. Once we talked about it and I brought it up to you, I was like, "Why are you mean?" Because before I would just kind of shut down. Then I finally brought it up. I don't understand why you're being mean just to be mean. Then he was like, I'm just playing with you type thing. And then slowly I realized.
Every time I would say that.
Yeah.
Maria Rivera, she says it's your delivery. And it might be. It might be. But everything that I was saying when it came to picking, it wasn't a degrading or making fun of.
Well, now I know that. And also too, I was saying I didn't realize, I'm going back to the whole 5 voices thing. I didn't realize I did something, right? Or that people perceive me a certain way until I knew. You don't know until you know, right? But then once you know, if it's something that how Ron said, that you could be if you're open-minded enough to be I can understand why people see that or why they think that, right? So then I just adjusted. It doesn't mean that I have to change who I am. It just means that you kind of adjust a little bit in order to accommodate other people.
You don't know yourself? It says
I do know myself, but I'm saying, so in this 5 voices, it has know yourself to lead yourself. So know what your tendencies are so that you can adjust. So if I tend to be a bitch and be like, hey, we need to get this goal, stop doing this, or I don't care that you're sick, get in this office, we have goals to reach, right? So if I know that I'm like that, then it's like, okay, I know I'm like that, so let me take like the softer route because my team doesn't react well to that.
Right. Maria says she just went through that yesterday, and he said that she was a bully. Here's her thing is he doesn't know me by now, so that says a lot. So it pretty much if she's on him, like she's just joking with him and whatnot, he thinks that she's a bully. He don't know her because he should know if she's just playing or not. You know, don't take everything personal if she's just playing. In my opinion.
I don't know, Maria, if you're like in leadership, but I just know like ever since.
But you're looking at work. Correct. Outside of work. Take work out of it. Take work completely out because you're going through a process at work.
Yes.
All right. So take the whole work thing out. Yes. In your personal life, right? Has something like that happened to you in your personal life outside of work?
Yeah.
Where somebody didn't know you, but you knew who you were. Yeah. And whatever they said just didn't bother you.
Yeah.
Or does everything that somebody says bother you?
No. And I agree with you that it just does depend on who it is.
Right.
Because if it is someone who doesn't really know me, but then does that mean you continue playing around with them? If it's somebody who doesn't really know you and they keep getting hurt because you play around with them, and they're not really close to you, do you continue to do it or do you just now kind of back off?
It just depends on how they take it. You know what I mean? If that's someone that doesn't really know me or I don't really know them, but I'm trying to get to know them, and for them to see what my personality is. I joke around a lot. I do this, that, and the other. Then I'm going to continue on doing it.
Yeah.
If you don't like something that I'm saying or whatnot, then you address that, and then I'll adjust what I'm saying to you. But I'm still going to be bubbly.
Will you though? Adjust?
Yeah.
So you're not like, that's who I am.
No.
Okay. So you kind of align with that too. Like, yes, this is the person I am, but if you have an issue with it or you're a little more sensitive, I can adjust.
Yeah. If you're sensitive, you gotta tone it down because some people don't take
certain things.
Yeah. The way that they are intended. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But the thing is it your perception that matters more or others? That's why I feel like there's a balance. You do have to take into consideration other people's perception.
Is their perception of you, and then you perceive them as being a certain way too.
Right. All right. The next one is self-evaluation. Are you mature enough to see or acknowledge what others see in you? Like if they say, hey, you're a little abrupt or you're kind of nosy or whatever the case may be, you're always interrupting my conversation, whatever.
Right.
Can you be like, you know what? I see that. Let me adjust.
Well, yeah.
Some people aren't. They're like, this is me. You take it or leave it. And they don't want to shift whatsoever.
Yeah, that's totally fine. If they're a certain way and they say, this is me, take it or leave it, it's up to you to make the decision whether you want to take it or leave it or not. You know what I mean? If that person is like that. I also
feel like someone who's like that and not willing to adjust is never gonna find.
Why?
Rarely gonna find. Yes.
You always got that one person that you know, or somebody that they know is a straight shooter. They're just gonna tell you how it is, and you either deal with it or you don't deal with it. If that's not your person, then you go find somebody else to hang
out with.
So you
could have like a revolving door of people, and you're fine with it, and then you finally find your person that accepts you.
Yeah, how you are. But you know one thing, that when you go to that person or you're hanging around that person, they're going to be blunt. They're going to be straight to the point. But that's that person. That's knowing that person. You don't want to find out that they're a totally different person when they're pretending to be somebody else.
Right.
I would rather you show
so
me
it's
your
more
true
of the, if you're complaining about the stuff your boyfriend does, then you might as well move on because they're never going to change. They are who they are.
Could be. Because why you want to change somebody? Eventually, if you change somebody, eventually they're going to start realizing that you done changed them to somebody that they ain't.
Because I think there's a difference between change and adjusting.
Okay.
Because we are not the same person, right? So I'm willing to adjust or compromise to meet you halfway, whether that's professionally, whether it's in your personal life, whether it's your family life.
But if you're talking about adjustment in any type of manner, you're changing someone.
Okay.
Right? Eventually, that person is going to realize that you have changed them to a person that they are really not. So then they're pretending to be somebody that they're not.
I disagree with that. Because I am still a sensitive person. I just know how to handle it in certain circumstances.
You do, though.
Okay.
But I wouldn't change you to be a non-sensitive person. I'm not going to say, hey, stop being so sensitive. I'm not going to change you.
No,
you're going to adjust yourself.
You are the one who didn't change.
And I'm not going to change. I'm old. I ain't changing me. You know what I mean? I am who I am.
I disagree because I feel like you adjusted to accommodate me.
No, I adjusted the conversation to avoid argument.
You adjusted.
I avoided the conversation.
It don't matter how you adjusted, you still adjusted.
Yeah,
based on someone else.
I didn't even want to hear it.
But you weren't like, this is me. I'm still gonna like pick on you and give you a hard time. This is just me. Take it or leave it.
Right. I was like that. I was like, I'm gonna still continue to jab. I didn't stop jabbing because
you just said.
No, I said at times I avoided the conversation. If you said some off the wall stuff, I'm just like, all right, you said some off the wall stuff. And from time to time, I hit you. And then, like, when your mom got sick or whatnot, then I stopped doing the mom jokes and things of that nature. So it is what it is. Yes. So Maria says, meaning that he should have known how she was. Exactly. Like, if she's a jokester, he should know. That's what she does. And don't be so butthurt because she's joking. You can tell the difference from when somebody's joking and when somebody's being serious.
You can't, though.
You really can't.
You can't.
What up, Mike Vasquez?
Not if you're familiar. Like I said, I didn't know because I wasn't used to that. So I disagree with that statement because you only know what you know. And if it's someone who's not familiar with you or in general not familiar with the jokester, they don't know. Say, what about people with the dry humor? You're like, well, shoot, I don't know if they're kidding around or if they're.
You do
you know what I mean? No, you don't.
Okay, so if you don't know that person, then who cares? What they think about you, what they say.
You still may have to interact with them based on who they are.
If it's not an attack towards you, who cares what they say? Because they're a stranger. They don't know you. So why is it important for them?
Because if there's still an interaction, yes, if it's someone you can dismiss, I don't have to see you ever again. I don't care. But if it's someone you interact with,
then what?
What do you mean? Then it's always going to be tension or
do they know you? Do you know them? Do you take time to get to the opportunity to get to know the person?
Yeah, if you're willing. That's what I said. You have to be open-minded in order to like understand and adjust.
Right. But if you're not open-minded and this is a stranger and they're not close to you, who cares what they say?
I hear you about this. So are we focusing on just strangers right now?
If somebody, if you are interacting with somebody that's in your life,
okay,
right? Either you're going to put, here's me. When I meet you, you go into a category.
He don't even know your name.
When I meet you, you go into a category. Somebody either I'm going to spend some time with because they're cool. Somebody that is, okay, a high and by, and somebody that I'm just not involved with whatsoever. You go into those three categories. Mm-hmm. If it's somebody that I think should be close to me or whatnot, and then I really care or I really value their opinion, I'm going to get a chance to know that person, and that person is going to get a chance to know me.
Okay.
Once it becomes that part, then I'm paying you attention. If you fall into the other categories where I don't even see you, or I see you every now and then, or you're just in passing, guess what? I can care less what you say or how you feel. Mm-hmm. You can jab at me all you want to. I'm just like, meh. Because what you're saying is not really important to me.
People who you don't interact with or care
because I don't even know your name or even care about. If I don't care about you, I don't care how you are with me in passing. It doesn't matter because your opinion about me or what you say does not matter. That's just me. And that it's the same thing. If I don't know your name and whatnot, when I first meet you,
I agree with
the thing is, I didn't have any reason to.
I agree with you on strangers. On strangers, who cares?
Okay.
I'll possibly never see you again.
All right. So even so you're saying the people that are close to you or you interact with.
Not even close to you, but interact. What if it's a coworker? What
don't
if
care.
It's so
don't care. If it's a coworker that's close to me.
And that's probably why you're the a-hole at work.
No, I'm the a-hole at work. If I'm that person, it's because I review investigations and they can't write for shit. So when I send stuff back, I'm just like the teacher. This is wrong.
But it's
corrected.
Your approach.
No.
And you don't care about your approach.
No, because I'm not rude when I let people know what they got to do. I'm not. Once again, you don't know me. You think that you know me. You don't know me.
No, yeah, I think that you don't know what other people see.
How do you know?
What do you mean?
How would you know?
Because when you tell me.
When what? When who tells you? When I tell you about me. Thank you.
About your interactions at work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this.
That was a little mean, Ron.
Because you're sensitive.
Well, maybe, yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know what you're talking about. All right.
Next one is, do you only let certain people know the real you? So the people who maybe who have the wrong, what you perceive to be the wrong perception, is it people you haven't really let in to know the real you?
I don't know. Well, I'll address that in a second. Mike says, my perception of me is this. I can't read that word. I'm all over the place. Let me do this. Then he said something about a Wolverine. I can fly. He says he's Superman. He's invincible. Mike pretty much says he's a superhero. He
perceives himself.
And other people probably think Mike's a straight up butthole, but I'm just saying what they think of you, Mike. You're not a Superman.
See, but it's not about what Ron thinks because you don't care, Mike. Right, Mike?
Edmund Tatum, yes. And I'm sure I am none of those. I agree. And I'm an assassin and a ninja on Tuesdays only. You know what, Mike? And the thing is, somebody in your life, from how you explained yourself at first, sees you that way. And then there's other people that see you differently. But what makes you is the way that you vision yourself. It has nothing to do with the way they think you are or how people perceive you.
So based on what he said, like he's like the Wolverine, blah, 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 some people could take that as he's cocky.
No.
No?
Well, it depends if he's acting that way, right? Then yes.
I'm invincible. What does that say? Adamantium bones? He must be into, what is that thing we don't watch? With the Wolverine and all those people.
But I'm just saying, some people do see you that way. Some people might see you as being cocky.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, he said they could think I'm cocky.
Yeah, I remember being your supervisor. Man, I had to stick up for Mike.
What was your perception
of Mike?
Of Mike.
No, he was a go-getter. You know, he was young, this, that, and the other. And I see it because we were all like pretty much.
You were probably young then too.
Yeah, it was pretty much like on one back in those days and whatnot. But he was being him. Until I got a chance to kind of know who he was and how he responded. Then yeah, because I looked at him as a different person.
I do agree with that because there's been a few people I've interacted with and I had one perception, and then after getting to know them, I'm like, oh,
right,
they're not what I thought initially.
Yeah. You're pretty sure I was the worst. No, you wasn't the worst, man. I did have to go into the office a few times from Mike Vasquez, but it is what it is. It's part of supervision, and look what you become, man. You know what I mean? So, way to do your thing. So your question was, do you only let certain people know the real you? Yes.
Right. So those people may have a different perception than the people that you haven't really let in, who don't know
right.
you.
And I will say that, you know, my real name is Nekaru. A lot of people, and I tell people this all the time, a lot of people know Ron, but there's very few people that know Nekaru. There's very few people that know me. And the reason why there are very few people that know me is because nowadays people don't really take time to get to know. Everything is visual. So you see me on social media and you think I'm this. You see me out and about, you think I'm this. Like the guy this past weekend went to the rail yards here in Albuquerque. And I was walking and there was this brother, he was selling his shirts and stuff like that. But he knew me from probably one time he saw me at work. He says, "Hey man, you're that dude that blah, blah, blah." And I was just like, yeah, but that was at work because this person didn't have what they were supposed to have. But I'm not that person walking around the rail yards. I was totally different.
Okay,
he
so maybe the perception of you is based off of circumstance. Maybe they see this how I'm one way at work versus at home. You maybe are one way at work versus at home.
Well,
so does that mean the perception's wrong? No, maybe it's just in the circumstance.
Well, at work, if you see me, it's negative. If you got to see me 90-something% of the time, it's not good. You know what I mean?
I agree. That's mine too.
So then when people come and they interact with me at work,
they're like, oh, you're not so bad.
Yeah. If they see me outside of work, then it's like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? You're totally different. But then at work, I'm trying to get information at work.
Okay,
I'm not
but
trying
that
to get
doesn't
information
mean
outside of work.
that the person that you are isn't wrong. That doesn't mean their perception's wrong. That means that's who you have to be. And they interact you at that point.
No, I think it's wrong. I just think that they look at me and they judge me from the appearance of what I'm doing versus talking to me to see how I am. Like the people that if the people that have like this guy and he thought something negative, I wasn't dealing with him.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
He just saw you dealing with
if I dealt with him, it'd be totally different. You know what I mean? You're just standing from the outside. You just know that I'm doing either an investigation or an inspection or something, and then you take that part of it and you think that I'm the black and white with the books and me.
So what do you think in general that people perceive you to be that you feel you're not?
Depends on what the atmosphere is.
Okay.
Because I have 3 different lives.
Okay.
I got work.
Okay.
I got the gym.
Okay.
And then I used to have like the whole social media thing.
Work, the gym, and social media.
And right. Like when people deal with me, if you deal with me in any type of manner, it's either going to be at work, at the gym, or you think you know me from social media.
Okay.
Right. So it just depends on like TikTok or whatever. People think that maybe that I'm like this bubbly singer that does videos and this, that, and the other, which I'm not.
You're not a bubbly singer?
I don't sing.
Like literally they think you're a singer?
Yeah. At work, I'm quiet. I'm a very quiet person. If you ask somebody at work, how am I? I'm probably the most quietest person at work.
And then at the gym?
At the gym, I talk to everyone. Yeah. Like everyone talks to me. I talk to everyone at the gym. I'm there almost all the time. So those people, they don't know me, but they just know me from the gym. You know what I mean? So I talk to everyone that I come across.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I want my environment at the gym to be a nice environment. I don't want animosity at the gym where I go to the majority of the time. I'm quiet at work because I go to work and I just stay in my little bubble and I do what I got to do. I don't have time to be advancing the work relationship outside of work where people know what you're involved in. So
I have to say, I remember Crystal, like seeing Crystal in action at her work, because I've always known Crystal as the non-emotional. We say that she's the one with the RBF, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I see her at work, she works with a lot of elderly people, and she changes up her voice, and she's so sweet, and hi Mary, how are you? Like such a totally different person.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm sure at work they think Crystal is the sweetest little thing ever. Tell me I'm lying, Crystal.
Mike says, I'm a firm believer that people prey on weakness and opportunity. When you let your guard down, they pounce. Not always intentionally, but they do. Keep your enemies close and your friends closer is a thing.
I agree with you. 100%.
So therefore, he says, therefore, the real me rarely shows itself. I agree. And I agree with that, because a lot of people's intentions nowadays when it comes to being close to you are sometimes questionable. Yep. You know what I mean? When people try to get close to you, a lot of them ain't really trying to be your friends. They're just trying to get some information and see how they can use you in a certain way to progress past you.
Right. Yeah. Any more?
Resting beauty face is what he says.
Oh, yeah, no.
Trev's greatest hits, come a chameleon. Yeah, I like that. What's that, Boy George?
Yeah.
Culture Club.
All right. So on the flip side, it's about others' perception of you. So it could be based off their interactions with you. My interaction with you, you were a jerk, or you were this, or you were that, or you were quiet, or whatever the case may be. Okay. Right? Mm-hmm. But that's their perception. Just like you said, at work, you're this. The people at work have one perception of you. The people at the gym have a different, and all of that. So does that mean they're wrong? No, it means that you sometimes show them what you want to show them.
I think all in all, if you take the 3 spots with me, let's say work, gym, and what did I say? And social media, the consensus will be the same. Because I treat everyone with respect. I treat everyone nice. I don't think I've ever had.
Sometimes it's too nice.
I'm not too nice. I don't think I've ever had a confrontation with someone like on social media or at work or at the gym. I haven't had a confrontation except for with one guy, and I just said I was going to punch him in the mouth. Oh, yeah, yeah. Because he was inappropriate. Yeah. Well, I had said if this was years ago, then our interaction with each other would have been totally different. You in the mouth. Yeah.
Okay. Crystal says, that is the real me. I'm a Gemini. I'm both.
Okay.
And then they say your perception of me is a reflection of you.
What?
Your perception of me is a reflection of you.
What's that mean?
You've never heard that before?
No.
Basically, like who you are, you're inflicting your ideals on me, like making me a person based on what you think, not really who I am.
Okay.
Yeah, you've never heard that before?
No.
Really? It's common. All right, next one is based on what others say. So someone else could have said, and I actually had this experience where someone kept saying all kinds of stuff, negative stuff about this one person. And I'm just like, okay. And I always keep that in mind, but I'm very big on making sure that my interaction or the way I take people is going to be off my own interaction, not someone else's. Okay. Right? Because there's circumstances, there's personality difference, whatever that could affect it. And I'm a different person than what that person is. And so everyone talked about this one person and how they were and this and that. Well, when I got to know them, I thought total opposite.
Yeah, I believe that. And one of the things that I understand, the loyalty with friends and family and stuff like that. But I hate it when somebody, just because they don't like somebody, you're not supposed to like them either.
But that was really big back in the day, right? When you were like in elementary school.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Sally doesn't let us play with her doll, so we don't like her.
Right. But and sometimes even in adulthood, somebody talks bad about a person, and then you get to know that person. You're like, what they said is not even close to that. Just like when you say, based on what?
Your own interactions or their interactions with you.
Yeah. If you approach me and we're talking and you get to know me and you have your opinion about me after we get to talking, then cool, I respect what you say. But if you say, I heard this or this about you or whatever, then so be it. I'm not paying you any attention because just because you heard something, who did you hear it from? Correct. You know what I mean? I'm not paying you any attention.
Crystal says, like, you're projecting is what it means by that comment.
Yeah.
Like you're projecting off me. And Michelle says, old school girl clicks. Yeah. You stick it together no matter what.
Yeah. Mike said he has heard of that before, but he doesn't believe that. Yeah. Especially the last statement that you made, if somebody outside said something just because they have like one interaction with you, then so be it. I don't care if they post it, this, that, and the other. It doesn't bother me any.
Some people do, but I've also had that interaction too. And until you get to know that person, that's kind of what stuck with you, correct? I'm saying on the other end, if you have a run-in with someone and it was a one-time thing and it wasn't a good interaction, and you're like, ooh, I wouldn't deal with that person again. Maybe it was a bad day for them. Maybe you just took it wrong. Like there could be so many circumstances.
Right. If that happens and I have an interaction with someone and it wasn't good.
Give them one more chance.
Yeah. I'll wait for them to come through again.
About food.
Yeah. I'll wait for them to come through again. We'll have an interaction. If you're acting the same way, then either you're for me, like I said, you fall in one of those three categories.
Yeah.
And I have nothing to do with you after the fact. If I know that you're not a stand-up guy or whatnot, and there's something behind you, I'm just like, nah, man, I'm good. I'm not going to be rude to you. I'll still talk to you because there's some people that I run across on a regular basis I don't care for, but I'm not rude to them. I just, I'm not dealing with them. It's not like we're holding a conversation. You're not going to know nothing about me.
I feel I can be rude at times with people, because I'm a really nice person, and sometimes, like, especially if I feel it's someone who's like tried to take advantage of me or have taken advantage of my niceness. After I'm done, and I don't pretend, and I'm just like, meh.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Then I have, what did I have here? For others. Oh, so again, the question on perception from others on you, is it construed or is it reality?
First of all,
it's both, right? Did I say that wrong?
You was bringing up those big words. I'm going to take that as disrespect. Watch your mouth when it comes to being construed, because I don't understand what that.
You're dumb. I was like, what did I say? Did I say it wrong?
That was on a 40-year-old virgin. He said, I'm going to take that as disrespect. So what was the question?
Just like, that's the question is it a construed perception? Like they just have it wrong, or is it again reality?
A lot of people say some things about me. A little bit of it is true, but 90-something% of it is not, because they don't really know me. You know what I mean? Some people say some things to you about, oh, like you're this and you're probably this, or
right. Blah, blah, but blah. Again, you said at work that you're kind of the mean one because you do their investigations.
I didn't say I was mean.
Well,
you said
maybe
that.
their perception, right? Because you say if they think that it's because I'm telling them that their stuff is wrong.
I think overall they think what everyone else thinks about me. I think when it comes to, if you got to bring something to me and run something across me, I think in that manner, I'm going to be straightforward to you, straightforward with you,
right.
because we done been through this 100 times already.
Well, yeah,
so I'm just tired of telling you the same things over and over and over and over again. The
niceties is long gone.
Yeah, so then I'm just gonna get straight to it. This is it. You know what I mean? Then people don't normally see me in that manner because I'm just like all right, it is what it is. I'm just like a laid back type person on a regular basis. So then when you see me change into somebody else because you're failing to do what you're supposed to do, then you might judge me per that encounter. And it's always going to be that way because you know that you're not getting it right. But outside of that, I think I'm a pretty cool guy. I'm all right.
Yeah. You are right, Ron.
Yeah.
Right, but my point in saying that is sometimes there's a little bit of reality into how they perceive you. And it doesn't necessarily that means who you are, but it may mean that that's just the interaction that they had with you based on circumstance.
Maybe so, yeah.
Right? So if someone comes and said, oh, so-and-so said they didn't care for you because you were rude, and right away you're like, I'm not rude, blah, 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 this and that. And it's like, well, maybe I could see why they thought that.
Yeah.
Right? But that doesn't mean I am rude. Unfortunately, they just came into the circumstance which I probably came off rude.
I get you.
So I'm just saying, learning about first yourself and how you come off to people, and maybe not putting yourself in certain circumstances with people so that their perception is not correct would be helpful.
Maybe. Mike says, every time I've done an inspection, I am labeled as an a-hole. Then people see me later and are like, Mike B is my dude. What up, Mike B? Sometimes I just go, how did I give off an a-hole vibe?
Right, you question it, right?
I even have people call me a Care Bearer. I agree, because it just depends. When people see you in a particular situation, yes, they judge you from that situation. Yes. It's not that you were an a-hole. It's just that, especially nowadays, people aren't used to you addressing situations to them straight up, straightforward.
Okay, but to play devil's advocate, so do you just say, sorry, that was your experience. It is what it is. This is me.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. When you're at work, you don't adjust your, hey, I need to tell this person this. And then the next time you like sugarcoat it, no. Actually, I need this to be done.
No, I do. And it's helped a lot. Well, it doesn't mean that I change, that I don't tell them the issue at all. It just means based off that person, they need a little bit more coddling, unfortunately, because that's the person they are. They're a guardian, or they're like an empath. They're a nurturer. So they're all about like everyone kumbaya-ing.
Right. So then what you're telling me,
I don't hurt their feelings. I have to say it a certain way.
So when you're saying this and you're sugarcoating it, you're wasting a lot of time to pamper someone versus just being straightforward on this is how I am. It's not personal because you're there to work.
I'm just talking their love language.
They ain't got time for all that. You're going to get the same thing from me. This is what it is. This is how it is.
Okay, well, we'll have to agree to disagree, right. But I do feel like since I've been in leadership, it has helped me a lot. Rather than being like, you know what, I'm the leader and I'm the way I am.
That's different. It. See, you're different. You're twisting it. Nobody said to be cocky and say I'm the leader, this, that, and the other. It's how you communicate. My communication is the same with everyone. But my communication is the same with everyone with that particular situation.
But what if your communication to some is a little rough and others are like, okay,
suck it up. Suck it up. That's why we have this. That's why the society is how it is right now. I don't have time to be catering to somebody.
You're a pioneer.
If you're
an immature
just
pioneer.
Think about it. Not immature.
Yeah, you are.
If you have people that's making a lot more money than you, and you have to tell these people the same thing every single time, and I'm supposed to sugarcoat it? Nah, not gonna happen with me. If you know me, I'm a nice guy, but when it comes to something that you are supposed to know or supposed to do, I'm gonna let you know straight up, and then that's it. And we
there's
straight
a difference
afterwards.
Between I'm done arguing.
You're looking at supervision And that's what your problem is right now. You're looking at supervisors as a whole. If I got 10 people, of course I have to be 10 different people because not everyone is going to be responsive to how I supervise as a whole.
But how does that not go into your personal life too? You're interacting, like you said, you gave 3 different scenarios where you're a different person.
I'm the same person in 3 different scenarios. Yes, I am.
You're not.
What makes you say that?
Because the people at work don't get the friendly Ron.
They do.
No, they don't.
I disagree with you. They get the friendly me outside of investigations. If you bring me an investigation, I don't care if it's all 7 people, I'm going to treat you the same way. I'm going to talk to you the same way. Outside of investigations, I'm cool with everyone. I'm a nice guy. I talk to you. We talk sports. We talk job. The whole night, I treat you with respect. But when it comes to investigations, I'm not sugarcoating anything because you're wasting my time. I'm getting straight to the point.
So do you feel when you're straight to the point? This is my experience, is when I was that person where I was straight to the point and kind of like, abrupt and like, hey, you did this wrong, I need it fixed. People did not swallow that well. Could it be because I'm a woman?
No, that's totally different.
Okay, how is it different? So then why is it that you're able to be upfront with no problems, but I experienced where I was abrupt with people and they did not take to it?
I can't answer that because I'm not a woman. So I don't know if they treated you that way because you're a woman. I don't know if they treated you that way because they don't respect you for your position. I don't know if they treated you that way because they think that somebody else should be telling them that information and not you. It's just, there's a lot of factors to it. But right now with me, if I tell you something that you got to do, you got to get past me and go to the next level.
Erica says, you can't please everybody all the time. I'm not going to die trying to please everybody. Nobody likes a fake you.
Thank you.
I disagree. I don't think it's about you being fake.
It is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. You're trying to cater towards someone when you need something done. That's not you. You're trying to cater towards them. So that's not you. You're putting on a performance for them.
A performance?
Yeah, you're performing for them. You're saying, oh, okay, I understand where you're coming from. If you could just go ahead and get me this by Friday. No, get that done right now. I don't need it by Friday. I need it right now. I don't care if your feelings are hurt. Let's get it done.
Elodia says she agrees, Ron, but I don't know at what part because we keep
talking. All of it.
Erica says, agree, Ron. Crystal says, I'm a different person at home, outside, and at work. Right.
There you go.
So that doesn't mean that.
But if you if you look at Crystal overall, she's probably the same person. She probably just changes.
That's my point.
And my point is, don't change. Why are you changing?
Because.
You see what I'm saying? Then you're being fake.
I don't think that it's being fake.
Well, then who are you? Who you are is your foundation, correct?
Correct.
If you change your foundation, you're somebody else.
Take it like this. Like, I curse. Okay. But in certain places, I don't.
Because you're professional.
You just said just.
Because you're being professional.
You base it off of the setting is all I'm saying. That doesn't mean I'm a different person because I curse at home like a truck driver, but when I'm around my elders, I don't. That doesn't mean that I'm a different person. Would you agree?
No, you could be a different person. You could be if you're a potty mouth. If you're a potty mouth,
showing respect.
Okay, let's say at home I'm all lovey-dovey, right? We go out in public, I have nothing to do with you.
You do that.
Am I being fake?
No.
What?
No.
What was okay? So what is the reason for me not to do one thing in one location and something in another?
I'm being somebody totally different.
I'm being somebody totally different.
Okay, that's what
you're just making my point. No. I'm being somebody totally different. If I'm one way here and I'm another person in another situation, I'm being somebody totally different. But it could
be like people not liking PDA.
It could be.
Like, I don't want you to be all over me. I just don't think it's professional, or I don't want to see other people.
So I'm being totally different out in public than I am at the house.
But that doesn't mean you're being fake.
Okay. Different example. If you're at work, right, and you have one person and this person you're stern with, right? And then you go to another person and you just like, oh, and you're acting totally different. Same situation, scenario, but you act totally different towards that other person. You're not being yourself. Who are you?
I disagree.
Oh my God.
I mean, Crystal agrees too. She is a different person based on circumstance.
Crystal is the same person throughout.
Mm-hmm.
She just changes herself for the situation.
So you're saying she's being fake?
Yeah. Because if you look at it, who do people like?
What do
she
you
adjusts herself.
Her home, her outside, or her work.
Who does people like? Yeah. Which Crystal do people like?
Probably the work Crystal.
Okay, so then if it's the work Crystal, that's totally different than the house Crystal or whatever. Who is Crystal?
She's both. Why can't she be both?
Can't be.
I disagree.
No, you
because
can't be.
At work I'm alpha. At home I want you to take control.
So who are you?
So why am I fake? Why can't I be both?
Because you can't be two people.
Why?
You can't be two people.
Why? It's based on circumstance.
So then you say that there's a time where somebody can love you and not like you.
Yeah, daily.
Yeah, so you're in a relationship, somebody can love you and then not like you.
Totally.
No, I just
around that one time a month, you probably don't love me.
I disagree.
But you like me the rest of the month.
Mike says he's a different person on circumstances. We all are. I don't know about that.
I totally agree.
I don't know about that. I believe it's situational. I'm talking about Julia.
Yes, situational.
It's situational. How we act behind closed doors may be different on how we act in public. Sexually, okay, I can understand that. I believe we are all one person. We just adjust to the environment.
Who is that?
Upon Julia.
Julia, yes.
Upon which we are in the moment. I'm the same person.
No, you're not.
I'm the same person. No. I am nice to you. I will be nice. I will talk to every single person, right? The only time that you'll see me different is if it's something that is I have to spend my time on at work, like let's say investigations, and I keep telling you over and over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. And only because now you become disrespectful and wasting my time. Outside of that, if you talk to anybody at work, you talk to anybody at the gym, you talk to anybody in any other capacity, they'll tell you what type of person I am. No? That's my foundation.
Is what? Nice guy?
Yeah, I'm a nice guy. Have you ever seen me be rude to anybody? Don't worry, I'll wait. I've not been rude to you. Stop lying.
All the time. What do you mean?
I have not been rude to you.
So you're being fake with them or you're being fake with me?
No, I've been the same the whole time. Even with you, I've been the same
so
person.
Are you fake with me or fake with everyone else?
If you want me to say something, then I guess I'll be fake with you then. You know what I mean?
Erica says, maybe they don't respect your position because it wasn't consistent. No, that was the problem. I was too consistent. I'm very rigid type A, and my boss was like, Angela, sometimes you have to meet them halfway. You have to adjust. You have to play nice. You have to bend sometimes. And yeah, I was very rigid in the way that I expected things. And it came off a certain way with people. So basically they want me to bend. It is what it is, but in the end.
So basically, they want you to be somebody else.
They want me to adjust.
Okay, whatever. Mike says next time he's in the gym, interrupt his workout. I do not mind if people interrupt my workout. I don't even care if you come up and ask me questions and you want to work out with me. I'm down with that too.
I agree, Crystal. She said you have to know your audience.
And I do know my audience.
No, because what Ron's saying is no matter who his audience is, he's the same person.
I'm the same person.
I bet.
Has Crystal ever seen me be rude to anyone?
Crystal?
Yeah. Has Crystal ever seen me be rude or disrespectful to anyone?
We'll see.
No need to see. Don't worry. I'll wait.
Okay, we'll wait.
I don't think I've ever been rude.
She said, hell yes.
You better stop it,
I'm just kidding. She didn't say anything.
I know, because I've never been rude or disrespectful to anyone. I'm the same. Now, if I deal with you after the fact, something totally different, but never been rude. That's just me.
I really can't think of a time you've been rude
to
others.
I'm the same way, period.
I disagree.
If you see me, I'm going to talk to you. We're going to have a conversation. We might not have a long conversation, but I'm going to speak to you. I don't care if you work at Walmart. I don't care if you work on the street. I'm going to talk to you, period.
Crystal says, laugh out loud. No, not that I've seen.
Right. See, you've never seen me be rude.
Okay, but he's calling you fake, Crystal.
No,
yes, that is what he's saying.
Yes.
So Crystal's saying you have to know your audience. That doesn't mean you're being fake. That just means you have to know your audience.
But does your audience know you? When you're talking about all these other spots that you go to and you adjust, when you adjust, do they know who you really are?
Some of them may not.
So then they don't even know the true you. So if they don't know the true you, you got to be somebody else when you interact with them. So that means that you're faking it. Who are you? Who are you?
I still disagree. I feel like just because I adjust based on the circumstance doesn't mean that changes me. And that I don't know me. I know who the hell I am. I just adjust based on who I interact with.
But that's not you. That doesn't
mean I'm fake.
That's not you.
No. It's like Mr. Potato Head. He's always Mr. Potato Head, but he just switches it up based on if he's going with his little top hat somewhere or going with his little mustache.
But if I want to know who Mr. Potato Head is, I see Mr. Potato Head as his complete self. When you start taking stuff off of Mr. Potato Head, he's somebody else.
No, it's still Mr. Potato Head.
But he's just somebody else. He can't hear, he can't see, he can't smell, so he's somebody else.
All right, now we're reaching.
Anyway, Mike says, I guess I can see it both sides. I do adjust my level of a-hole. It's pretty big scale.
But you still adjust, Mike. Little a-hole or big a-hole, you still adjust. That doesn't mean you're fake when you're a big a-hole.
And Mike says, I work with him, all lies. Okay. What about the time I got you the wrong meal at New Miyake's? Hey, he
was rude then, right? He wasn't nice.
If you got me the wrong meal at New Miyake's, you know I like New Miyake's, especially that chicken. Bruh, you probably caught one that day.
See?
But outside of that, like I said, I'm a nice guy, and that's my foundation. Now, the situation when it comes to work, totally different. But I can see, to give you your props, I can see how people nowadays do adjust to the situation. Like you have to adjust to people to get some things done because some people become butthurt, when you tell them exactly
I think
the truth.
Too, especially with the younger generation, they're so sensitive.
Yeah, so you have to.
That you've had to adjust, but I guess that means we're fake.
Right, but when it comes to me, now I don't give a damn if you're a young generation or not. If you come to me in a capacity where you should know, like once again in investigations, I'm going to treat you the same as if you're everyone else. I don't speak no differently from one person to the other. I'm straight to the point. Bam, this is how it is. Everyone else I talk to, I have a nice time with. You just fall in the categories if I'm going to deal with you or I'm not going to deal with you. Are you in passing or is it somebody that I want to communicate with on a regular basis? Period. I'm not sugarcoating nothing for nobody. I'm good.
Okay. Well, I'm going to continue being fake.
Yes.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast.
Okay.
On this wonderful Thursday.
Wonderful.
We really didn't learn anything here.
We did learn.
No, we didn't.
Be yourself. The true you. Anything outside of being the true you is not authentic.
Go ahead and finish it off, Ron.
But we appreciate you guys joining us on this Thursday. We appreciate you guys joining us every Thursday. We really enjoy your support.
Make sure to like and share and subscribe so that you get notified, especially through YouTube.
Okay. Yes.
I don't know if Facebook. No, you just like it, but you don't subscribe.
Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah, but definitely on YouTube. So thank you again for joining us.
Yes, thank you for the compliment, Mike. We appreciate you always joining in and the rest of you guys that do chime in. Once again, our phone number is on the screen, 505-575-2484. If you want to be heard, or you even want to be seen, and you want to join us on here, we'll send you the link, and you could be a guest speaker with us. But we really do enjoy you guys that actually chime in. We want to hear more from you. Like I said, like Angela said, we have a YouTube page under Chat of Opinion. Make sure you check out all of our past episodes. It takes a lot to upload them. So it's under the live section under YouTube. If you want to go back and look at any other past episodes, and I'll do a better job or more efficient job on trying to upload, but it just takes a lot of time to upload it to the original page. So we'll see how that works.
Well, we appreciate the effort, babe.
Until next time, we appreciate you guys joining us. Like I said, the weekend is coming up. Just make sure you guys stay safe.
Thanks, guys.
Later.